Okay, folks, welcome to Best Stock Charts for the coming week. This is Bob Desmond, the Contrarian Trader, and welcome to a preview of the symbols that we'll be discussing this evening on Thursday Night Stock Market Futures Live. You can join us free every Sunday night. We'll be going live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and if you want to watch us on YouTube, all you need to do is go to the description area below, click the link that will subscribe you to our YouTube channel, click the bell button, and you are ready to go. You'll be notified the minute that we go live this evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Members immediately following Sunday Night Futures Live, we're going to go into a private group session, and we'll be discussing the symbols that you want to discuss for the coming week, as well as answer any of your questions that you have related to our best stock charts, our positions, or our strategy on the markets. Okay, so let's begin with a review of IWY, which is the Russell 200, not the Russell 2000, but the Russell 200 growth stocks. Now, when I did my analysis of the IWY versus the IWM, it was very, very interesting in that the IWM is lagging significantly the Russell 200. And when you take a look at a comparison, I'll bring up the IWM in a moment. When you see the comparison here, we made a high back here in August on the IWY. No breakout. We attempted again in September, no breakout. But at current, we appear to be setting up for a continuation breakout after breaking out on Friday. Not many people are talking about the Russell 200. So we're going to do a deep dive into the Russell 200 tonight on Sunday Night Futures Live. So please join us. Now let's do a comparison versus the IWM. Take note of this before I hit the enter button. Take note of this chart here. Now watch the comparison. See how far off the highs we are on the Russell 2000? Significantly lower than the prior high. So what you're seeing here with the IWY is 10% of the Russell 2000 carrying the weight for the entire index. So if you want to be long of the small caps, yet you're not satisfied with the price action of the Russell 2000, and I don't blame you, simply take a look at the IWY. You want more diversity? Take a look at VONG. The Russell 1000. It hasn't put in a new all-time high yet, but very close, and again, significantly outperforming the IWM, the Russell 2000. So this, either one of these two, the IWY or VONG, gives you exposure to the small caps, but the top performing small caps. The next chart up, TMO, again, weekly chart. You can see that we are very close to a breakout here to new all-time highs. The indicators are looking outstanding. And again, we're going to go over this evening on Sunday Night Futures Live. So we'll do a deep dive. If you're interested, ask a question, and I'll jump into these charts. Many of you out there may not be interested in all these symbols, so I want to devote the time tonight to what your questions are with regard to these charts. So please join us. JD.com, weekly chart, close to a breakout. No bueno yet, but very, very close. An interesting setup here. I'm loving Stokes on a weekly basis. So more to come tonight on a potential deep dive. Ask the question, and I will do a deep dive for you. Qualcomm, another one on our watch stock list. We were overbought on a weekly basis. We pulled back, double bottom setup, a W formation. It appears as though we are getting ready for a continuation breakout here. The semis did outstanding last week. Take a look at the SMH. We are long of the SMH. Note how we broke out last week. Qualcomm is lagging a bit here, but I think we're going to follow through this coming week, and we plan on looking to add more to our semiconductor position, and Qualcomm may just fit the bill. So more to come. Members will talk about Qualcomm if we do decide to open a position here in our private session. So please join us tonight after Sunday Night Futures Live. The next chart up, weekly basis, Cheesecake Factory. You can see that we had a beautiful breakout last week. Will we get follow through this week? I believe so. But this evening we'll do a deep dive. We'll take a look at the weekly chart, daily chart, perhaps the 4-hour chart. Join us tonight and Ask the question about cake if you're interested, and we will do the deep dive. We're going to be going over a whole bunch tonight, which is why I want to keep it viewer specific as to what you want me to speak about this evening. I want to talk about the Federal Reserve and their balance sheet. We're going to open it up with that. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that's quite humiliating tonight, but I need feedback from the audience. So join me and you'll figure out exactly what I am speaking of this evening. So cake, beautiful price action. I'm going to leave Tesla for last. GLNG. You can see that our alert has been triggered on GLNG. We set this alert in anticipation of a breakout above the upper band of resistance. We got that breakout. We got a pullback and a retest. And last week, we got a continuation move higher. I'm liking GLNG. So more to come this evening. LABU. As I mentioned last weekend on Sunday Night Futures Live, I like to sell puts on LABU to generate income. So when I sell puts, that is a bullish play, not a bearish play. So when we sell puts, we're betting that the shares that will proceed higher. And when that occurs and they close out the week, I usually sell weekly options. When they close out the week above our strike price, we collect that premium. So you can see that we are holding support here. We pulled back last week. We did a retest of support on a weekly basis. What was the low? 33.73. Our support level was at 33.58. So very, very close. Close enough for government work. You can see that we've broken out here on RSI and on Stokes. So more to come on LABU. If you want me to discuss it in further detail, I'll be more than happy to do so. Alerts do go out to members when I do execute trades, whether I open a position, whether I add to the position, and when I close a position. So 14-day free trial offer if you're interested, please. And join us tonight in the members-only session after Sunday Night Futures Live. Tesla, a huge move last week, but guess what? I'm looking to short Tesla, not for the long term, but for the short term. It's a bit overbought here relative to the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. We're going to look to scalp a trade here. We'll be in 1-2 days max. We'll take our pound of flesh, and we'll move to the sidelines and make those profits real. So I would not anticipate being short of Tesla for a prolonged period of time. It is breaking out. It has broken out, I should say. And it appears as though we will probably consolidate after a pullback and see a continuation push higher. So Tesla, longer term bullish, short term a bit bearish. And that is it for this afternoon, folks. Join us tonight, Sunday Night Futures Live. We usually have a great time going over the futures markets. We'll see how the markets are opening up. We'll talk about the news items that can drive the markets into the coming week. We'll also talk about how the Federal Reserve's balance sheet looks after all of the intervention they have been engaged in these past several weeks. And note how you've had only one politician speak about what the Federal Reserve is doing. And unfortunately, it's not the president. It was Elizabeth Warren. Because the minute that President Trump speaks about Fed intervention, that makes it real. Right now, they don't want you talking about it. We'll talk about it more tonight on Sunday Night Futures Live. Everybody, I'll catch you there. Again, subscribe to the channel. Click that bell button. Get notified of when we go live. And I look forward to engaging with you. Be well and enjoy the remainder of your Sunday. Talk to you soon.